Good day, ladies and gentlemen, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be mucking around with this VL I've got in front of me. So you guys know from the last video. If you haven't seen part one, go check it out. This is my 1986 VL SL, and we're doing a LS1 conversion in it. There was a factory RB30 auto, and we got the LS sitting in there, and this is going to be the next little project to whack together on the channel. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a couple of things to it, and the first thing we've got to do is get it out of its little hidey hole. Now it's been in this like little hidey hole for like maybe nearly 2 years, and it's like tucked away in the front yard. So I'm going to be getting the LS1 patrol, and I'm going to be yanking it out of here, moving the skyline, moving the other skyline, and I'm going to put the VL over there so we can work on it in front of the RX-7, and that way, yeah, we can work on it instead of having to work on it here where it's half on the concrete, half on the grass, and you can't get under it. So yeah, so that's going to be the plan. Once it's out, I want to start having a look at the front and just having a look to see what we're going to do. Maybe pull the K-frame out, pull the engine back out again. I'm going to order the Castlemaine rod shop kit, which is a conversion kit that bolts these LSs straight into these things. Still got to buy a T56 gearbox because we weren't running manual, of course. Still got to do all that in the future. So, but for now, I just want to sort of do under the car. But we'll worry about pulling it out first. And then once we pulled it out, I'll give you another brief overview of the car, show you it because I haven't showed it properly, and maybe even give it a wash. Let's drag this thing out. All right, so first thing we're going to do before we pull it out is get the airline and pump up all the tyres. You can see this tyre's a bit flat, so we want the less rolling resistance, but at the same time we don't want too much because it's got no brakes, no handbrake, and if it does take off, it's yeah, it ain't stopping. It's going to crunch into the back of the patrol. So we'll take it one step at a time. I'm going to hopefully have someone in there because right now no one's home at my house, it's just me, so hopefully I can pull it out on my own. If not, I might have to pull it into the driveway, maybe get my missus or my mum to help me push it and square it up against the fence. But for now, let's pump these tyres up and try to get it out. Alright, so I got the mighty GU backed up into the driveway. Got the skylines over there on the street. Hello. Got the strap hooked up. Obviously, it's just I've thrown the excess into the engine bay, but so yeah, so we're gonna pull it with the GU, and hopefully I'm just gonna pull it really slowly and try and I'll cock the wheel a little bit this way just so it comes out as straight as possible, and then once it's out into the driveway I can sort of massage it and shimmy it in here. I've got it hooked up over the frame rail inside there. Not really a tow hook point in the front of these, which is really weird, but yes, on the frame rail at the front, so I should pull. I'm just going to give it a really slow tug, and hopefully she'll just come out of this little hidey hole. So all the tyres pumped up to about 35 psi. My girlfriend's not far away actually, so once I pull it out I'll get her to help me sort of shimmy it in the driveway. So let's do it. It's coming. All right, it's coming slowly. So that's pulling good. The mighty LS. Yeah, I'll clock the wheel just a little bit so it comes out at an angle, so we're not pulling on a really awkward angle. Yeah, like that should be alright. Alright, let's get her out. Alright, slowly and steady, she's coming out. Let's go have a look where she's been sitting for the last 2 years. There's all crap under here. Can't remember what the hell I had under here last time. Nice! Welcome back out into the world, VL. It's always exciting when you just sort of pull a car out when it's been sitting for a while. It's almost like one of those barn find videos. But obviously it isn't. Look at the GU just fucking, I wasn't even in low range or anything, just let the clutch out and just come out with it. Once the strap settled, it sort of pulled itself out. Beautiful. All right, let's keep. What I'll do is, so it's going to start going downhill soon. So I might put a brick just in front of it every time. So if it does start to roll forward, it will just hit up against the brick and stop. So I might do that. Let's keep getting it out. Alright fellas, it is the next day and I sort of stopped filming. Me and the missus were pushing the car back in and then went inside and had something to eat. So today, you sort of see the car's in its new spot now. I'm going to be working on it. So it's sitting pretty here. So I'll have a look inside here. The mighty LS chilling. So I think what I'm going to do now is, you can see, it's turned into a bit of a barn find. So I've got the back here, so I'm going to give it a bath and then we'll give it just a blow over because it's going to rain tomorrow, so I'm not going to worry about full washing it, but I'm going to get all these leaves and crap out of it and everything out of in here. Yeah, it's missing the bloody seal in here. But yeah, we're going to start to give it a bit of a bath and carry on with doing the front end of this. So I'm going to jack it up, pull the front wheels off and get up in there and start restoring inside that wheel well and start doing the K-frame and arms and all that stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. Well, there you go. Washed about 2 years of grime off of her. Still leaves and shit. But yeah, there we go. Looking a bit cleaner now. Alright, now the car's all just flushing off and drying off. I'll give you a brief overview from the last episode. And for new viewers, I'll tell you a bit more about this car and how I got it and stuff like that. So this is my 1986 VL. I actually swapped it for a Nissan Stagia that I had. And I paid about 1,400 bucks for that Stagia. And my mate Damien had this and he said, do you want to swap? And yeah, so I was in the car for about 1,400 bucks. It was running, driving, RB30 auto. Nothing really wrong with it. Then it developed a bottom end knock. So I took the RB30 out. And then I bought this LS for my other patrol I had. I bought the LS for 1,000 bucks with the loom, the starter, the flywheel, everything. So I'm in the car for like, what, 2.5-ish. I originally wanted to do a 5 litre, but then I sort of wanted to do like a modernized SS sort of Group A style car. So I decided to go with the LS and just do LS T56 manual. And then once we get engineered and stuff, I'd love to go LS turbo. Yeah, so I'll show you around the car. It's actually quite a straight, clean car. As you can see, it looks shiny now because it's drying off, but the paint's actually completely ruined. I'll show you on the guard a little bit closer. The paint's pretty gone. It looks like someone's done like welding splatter or something next to it. It's just like sort of charred the paint. You can sort of see it on the boot a bit more. You can sort of see rust particles. The good thing about this car is the rust. There is very minimalistic rust on it. Very minimal rust. It's got nothing in the windows like it commonly does. The front window seal here is missing and there's a slight bubbling down the bottom here. So I'm going to take the window out regardless and repair it because that'll become a problem in the future. If we come to the boot, I'll show you the worst rust in the whole car. This did come from a pretty dry area. Okay. So the worst rust in the whole car, as you can see, a while ago I did prime all this to try and protect it, and just this boot seal here. So if I pull that apart, pull that off, pretty much up to each corner, the boot seal here is all rotted away. This side not so much as this side, but yeah, that's the worst rust in the entire car. The boot floor is perfect, the spare wheel well's perfect, the well over there's perfect, and inside the wheel tubs are all good, and underneath's pretty good. So yeah, so what we're going to do is pretty much just cut this whole gutter little section off here and literally just replace it with a brand new section for the boot seal to slip onto. And that's about it. I've kept the boot seal on there, but it's still holding a bit of moisture, so it's rotted away. But other than that, we just got to repair that section and then rust proof it all, and yeah, that's it. That's the worst rust in the whole car. Now the last VL I had a lot more rust in the windows and stuff and in the quarter panels. So this one was a pretty good deal to get, you know. And it was a run and driving car, so it's pretty much a complete car. So heading on inside, the windows are fogging up a bit, so it's probably got some water inside. Now the interior is quite clean. The dash mat's fallen off, but got the center console out obviously because of the transmission and engine out. Go have a look in the back. yeah, it's definitely got water inside here. And I'd say it's probably the door seal, but don't worry about the water. Interior is actually quite nice. I like it. I think this is a sandalwood. You correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. We've got the Calais high-rise console here. So we've got 2 little cubby holes, another one there. That's pretty nifty. You'll notice actually, more you keen VL guys, it's got Calais badges. One on the side, one on the front nose cone, another one on the other side. This person that owned this must have really liked the Calais sort of accents to put on his car, even though it's just an SL. Also got the cluster with the rev tacho, not the clock, which is good, and it all worked, so that was awesome. So I've just got shit everywhere because I was sort of rushing when I was mucking around this car a long time ago. Now I did actually start tearing into this car before I even started thinking about filming for YouTube. So I've actually done a lot to it. The back half, restored the fuel tank with new pumps, straps and all that, retard underneath up to about the back seats, up to about, yeah, the sort of the back floor of the seats of the car. So under all the wheel tubs at the back, all rebody detonated, everything looks brand new under there. I'll peek the camera under there shortly and show you. But yeah, this was sort of a little project I had just in my spare time. And now I thought maybe it's time to put my finger out of my ass and start getting shit done. You're probably gonna ask me how come, you know, I sort of jumped from the FD to this and project to project. I find that change of scenery is really good for the mind. It's really, like, even tearing into this now, I'm excited because, you know, it is change of scenery and it keeps your mind sort of always going and more challenges to come ahead. So I do enjoy jumping from build to build. It does take longer to build a car, but it's actually more fun in my opinion. But yeah, a lot of you will ask me why I'm going with the LS engine over the RB30. Pretty much I've got the RB30 in the, oh, that's the wrong car, over there, the 31, and that's going to be turbo, so I don't want 2 of the same things. Yet again, the Patrol is LS, but I do want to supercharge that and turbocharge this, so I want to have 2 different LS, and you know, I just love the sound of V8s. So yeah, that's the whole reason I wanted to go LS. And I love SSs, I love V8s, I love manual, so I wanted to keep it like a modernized V. Like, obviously if this car was made in the early 2000s, it would have come with this engine, so that's what I wanted to do this. And yeah, also it's got the pretty cool side skirts on the side of it. And we got the scepters, which I'm gonna keep on it to get that classic look. Right, so I got my phone light because the GoPro doesn't really have a light, but have a look under here, you can see our fresh tank. And you can sort of see under there how I've painted the diff cover, the sway bar and everything, so it all looks nice and new. Still got the stock struts in there, I'm going to replace them. They're just factory Monroe gas struts, whatever they are. But yeah, you can see under here looks all nice and neat, all nice and clean. There's a peg under there from when the car cover used to be pegged onto it. And you can sort of see in the wheel well, there you go, you can sort of see, minus the strut, where I've rebody detonated all inside there, and that's still holding up nicely. Alright, so first we'll jack her up and have a look what we got to work with. Now I am taking this wheel off for the first time owning it, so what you see first is what I'm going to see first. Ugh. Spoders. Now I did pressure wash under here, not too bad though. I thought it might have been worse. Still got the splash guards in here, the inner wheel lining, that's good. Sway bar's pretty crusty. Looks like it's just dirt on it. Bushes are pretty fucked for them. The rack boots actually aren't too bad. The rack ends are pretty crusty. Oh, tie rods. Not too bad. Alright, so just gonna whack the calipers off, take these discs off, and see how it all looks in there. I'm probably going to have to put bigger brakes for engineering, or I'm most likely gonna have to. But I want to get new discs and pads for this. That way when we do drive it around, we can have a good stopping power. I mean, the brakes were good before, but you know, look at them, the rotors are pretty rat shit and the pads all the shit in there. And so yeah, we'll take these off and see what we've got to work with. Crack the brake line, got a bucket under it. So we'll take that brake line off. The question is, how stubborn is the caliper going to be? Will it come off? Oh, it's pretty seized on there. See if any wildlife comes out of there. It's going to come off now. Beautiful. Well, I've got the little hub nut ready to come off so I can take the disc off and start in the rain now. So and I'm starting to run out of daylight, so I might continue on this thing tomorrow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the next day and I am back full of energy. I've given myself like an hour of daylight to work on this car again, but I've been out to get some parts for it. So show you what I've been out today doing. You versus the guy she told you not to worry about. So these are our brakes from the VL. Now these are our single piston standard front 6-cylinder brakes. So I'm going to be doing the common VT to VZ brake conversion. So this is these calipers are off a VY, they're twin piston, and I picked them up at the Wreckers for 35 bucks for the two. And I've also got the VT, well it's a VZ brake master cylinder. So we got the master and we got the front brakes, so we're going to upgrade our front braking to suit the V8 engine swap. Now factory, the VL would have had twin pistons up the front for the V8 cars. So common conversion is the VT to VZ, I think it is, conversion. So they run the twin piston, which are these calipers here. Much bigger calipers, you can see the difference. So single pistons here, twin pistons, and just much bulkier, cool looking caliper. So they'll be nice and big. So another thing I have to order before I put any of this on is I have to get the hub adapter so I can run the VT discs. So other than that, the calipers will bolt on to here, and then I've got to get the line adapters that run from here to the caliper. Now I've gone over the brake setup that I want to do for it. I'm going to get these discs off, or discs, get this hub all torn apart, take this strut out, tie rod end out, take the sway, I'll get the sway bar out the way, and then start getting this all prepped. And yeah, you can see it looks rusty. This is all just like surface crap. So once I clean it all up in here, and I'm going to take this inner guard lining out, this little plastic liner in here. Once I get that out, we should be pretty sweet. So I'll focus on getting the suspension crap out of the way, and then we can start cleaning in here. I might give it another pressure wash. With a size difference on those calipers though. Once I get in, there we are, like that. They're massive. Compared to the old brakes, they're huge. So that'll be the stopping power we need. Alright, so now we've taken all this apart. There's our wheel bearing setup that's inside the disc. Disc slides under this hub. So what we're going to do is, for the VT setup, we have to convert this to what's called a floating disc. So the hub, so obviously the discs on these are the studs. So we convert it to the VT hub. And then once the hub goes on there, that'll be the wheel studs and the hub. So we have to get the bearings to suit, of course. And then we can put the VT disc on and then have all the brakes, hopefully miraculously, all work. So from all the research I've been doing and all the write-ups I've seen, that's pretty much all there is. So all I need is a VS booster, VT master, VT brakes, the adapters, and we're good to go. So yeah, so that should make this car have really good stopping power, and obviously could be good for engineering as well. Next thing I've got to do is get the nut off this lower control arm and try and split all this from the upper section of suspension. Take this tie rod off. These are going to fight me, I can just tell. I haven't got a ball joint splitter, so we're going to just wail on them with a hammer or the rubber mallet. Hopefully get some shock into them. So we'll start digging in and see how well this front end wants to come apart. So I let the GoPro charge up a little bit. So what I did was I undid the tension rod bracket at the front here. Also did the bolt and the nut at the back of this lower control arm, so that's all free. You can see it's all moving around now. All I got to do is just drop these strut tower bolts. Hopefully I can pull out this whole unit as one whole piece. The sway bar end link is all unbolted, so they should just fall out. So pull all this out in one piece. I can deal with it on the floor, and that way we have heaps of room enough to dismantle one thing by one. Like even the bolt here for the lower ball joint for the knuckle, that's a bit of a pain to get to. So yeah, so let's undo these top bolts and hopefully drop this whole unit out as one piece. Please don't fall on my leg, please don't fall on my leg. So put all the nuts and washers. Oh, he's a spider. Oh, he's pissed. There's a spider just up in the strut. He's pissed. Alright, let's drop that whole unit down. So hopefully, with a bit of finagling, we can wiggle this whole unit out. Alright, so far we have most of the unit out, control arms out. Just got to get the brake line off this mount here, and then the tension rod out of there. It should just slip out once that's all, the brake line's all done. Hopefully that should all just pull out. This is my first time taking apart a VL front end, so I'm just learning as I go. So bear with me. I'm doing it the wrong way, I probably am, but it's coming out, that's the main thing. But yeah, definitely gonna learn from this one. So I didn't charge the GoPro long enough because I put it down to record. It recorded the first bit, and then, yeah, you know what happened next. But, yay! It's all out. Here's a whole spindle set up, so I can work with it. So yeah, I just left the tension rod in there and sort of just finangled it out. It was kind of stuck, so I just WD-40'd here and managed to shoot it out, and yeah, it's all good. So I'm gonna see what bushes are fucked. Probably end up replacing all of them anyway. It's all out. So I can start doing the undercoating inside the body here. So I'm probably gonna give this another good pressure wash, degrees, all that stuff, get it nice and clean, and then we'll start applying our underbody coat in here. Woohoo! So now I've got to do the other side, which at least I know how to do it on this side. I can do it on the other side. So let's get started. All right, guys, it's the next day. So we're on day number 3, I think. And one thing I just did off camera before I started rolling was take the inner guard linings out, so we can have a look up inside. No creepy crawlies, a couple of day long legs, but nothing crazy. So we can have a look inside here. So we're going to be painting all inside there, make this all look schmick. So I still have to take the other side off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave all the brake assembly on there and just pull the actual strut, control arm, tension rod, everything out as one, and we'll drop the sway bar in the end. But yeah, still got to that side, but we'll focus on the other side for now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the pressure washer out, and I'm going to pressure wash. I'm going to degrease all in here first, and then we're going to just hit it with the pressure washer, get it all nice and clean. Then I'm going to prep sole all inside here, and then start laying this undercoat. So yay, we'll get to that now. You can tell it's nice and early in the morning. I woke up first thing this morning, and it's all frosty. So yeah, let it air out a bit, and we'll get stuck into this underbody. Alright, so I've degreased the hell out of that, so let's just get the pressure washer now and give it a hit. Alright, now I'm just going to let all that dry off. I've taken off so much dirt and grime in there. So it's pretty much clean, same as the other side. So the other side's nice and clean in there too. So I'm going to go ahead and pull all this suspension out of this side. And then we're going to start prepping. So I'm not going to prime in here because the underbody coat just sort of goes over the old stuff and there's no rust in here, which is good. So I'm not going to prep in here. Well, I'm going to obviously prep but not prime it. But yeah, I'm just going to clean all this up and then prep sole it all so it's nice and clean, and then lay our underbody coat. Alright, some time's gone past. I'm still waiting for the floor to dry so I can work on the car. It's all wet here. But I've given this, both front hub assemblies a good pressure wash because they were completely just gummed up with shit, mud and fucking everything. Same with that one over there. Also gave the inner guard linings over there a wash. So under the front here's looking good. So what I just did now, anywhere I saw any bit of surface corrosion, I just roughened up with a bit of scotchy and prep soled it and just put some edge primer over it. Here as well, just anywhere there's still a surface corrosion, I'm going to do a little bit here, and then that way when we do undercoat, nothing gets, you know, shit everywhere. So I want it to be all nice. It's still a little bit wet here, so I'm going to give it a nice dry off, and we're probably going to be swapping subframes around. I'm not sure what we're going to do with the subframe. I know Castlemaine do the adapter kit to fit in the 6-cylinder frame, but if I do find a V8 subframe, I'll be swapping it over because I'll just bolt straight in. They are getting hard to find though, so if I can't, I'll just do the conversion with the 6-cylinder frame. But right now I'm going to keep the subframe in there because the engine's still in there. I can drop the sway bar, but I can sort of swing that down for now and just move it out the way because I'm going to be repainting that. I can get another sway bar, but I might just repaint that and restore that. I'll leave the tie rods in here, I'll leave the brake lines because I'm going to get the adapters that go from here that run to the VZ or VT calipers. So yeah, so right now I'm just going to go and finish coating in here. And then, sooner or later, might even give here just a bit of a whiz over. Yeah, once we're done with that, we'll start prep soling, wait for this to dry off, and then we'll hit it with some underbody detonor. It's my favourite part because you get the good before and after. I love doing this stuff, absolutely love it, adore it. Now this stuff up here is a little bit cracked, but I have picked away out there just to check if there's any rust behind there. There's nothing, it's all solid metal. Same on the other side, so I'm not really too fussed about that. I'm just going to go over it with the new stuff, and hopefully that should fill in any imperfections. I'm not going to go too far with it. At the end of the day, I just want to drive the thing, so we're going to do like a pretty minor restoration, and then hopefully this thing will skid nicely. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is get a paper towel and the old prep sole, and then what we're going to do is just going to go over all this in here now that we've dried the edge, and just go over everything. So you can see it's still a little bit wet around these areas, all the seams and stuff, so I'm just going to go prep sole it all, and once it's all dried up, we'll get ready to apply the undercoat. You can see even with the good washing degrees, there's still some leftover residue on there, so we want to get that all off before we apply our new undercoating. Alright, I'm giving that a bit of a wipe, still dirt's come off, so gonna keep going over anywhere where there's any mud. This car just had so much mud in it, so it's kind of good that it didn't hold a lot of moisture and rust, which is what a lot of cars that are full with mud do when they park for years. So yeah, so we're gonna let that flash off. We're gonna do the other side. Got a rag up in there to stop overspray going in the bay, and we can apply our undercoat very shortly. Woohoo, how exciting. Alright, so I'll quickly show you through the products that I'm using. If you're familiar with the Patrol build and the RX-7 build, which is somewhere over there, I love my UBS under-tar stuff. This stuff works a treat. In the Patrol I did use it. I don't know if it's probably dirty now, but you can't really see it, but it's fantastic. Still holding up strong. It's a bit dirty in here, but this was disgusting before I painted it all. So this stuff does work a treat. You spray paint it straight over your old stuff, and makes it come up like new. Also over here, if I do run out of that product, I've got 2 cans. That should be enough for 2 wheel wells. I have this stuff, and I have used this stuff before. Pretty much the same as the UBS. The only difference is this stays tackier for a little bit longer, but sort of the exact same finish with that underbody sort of texture. So I'll be using the UBS, and might use this stuff on the actual underbody when we start doing the belly of the car. But yeah, so see how we go, and see, hopefully I don't use up all these cans. Alright, so there's the first coat. I'll let that flash off and hit it again. Much better in here. It'll look better when it all finishes off. Missed a couple of spots up in there. I'll get the phone light out so I can see what I'm doing. Alright, so giving it some time to flash off. It's looking awesome. So I'll give it a nice heavy second coat. See up here in that, we want to get a bit heavier up here in that. But so far, looking pretty sweet. So another heavy coat, and show you the other side too. I'll just quickly whiz over that side. That's drying off. But yeah, we're getting there. Progress. Can't wait for this mighty V8 to roar into life, I can tell you what. Alright, let's get this last coat on, see how it looks. Well, it's second heavy coat all done, so we'll give that time to flush off and see how it looks. But already looking much better in there. Almost like new. Probably better than new, I'd say. Alright guys, time has gone past. Let it flush off, see how it's going. It's looking much better in there. Looking awesome. Go look at the other side too. Fantastic. Now I absolutely love doing these things to cars just to bring them, you know, back to their former glory. You know, little things like this is just what makes building cars so much fun. Just a little reward you get just from little jobs like this. Well, not so much little, but you know what I mean. I also put a bit of etch primer on the rust in here, just to sort of stop it any more in its tracks. So I had some rust converter down first and then put some etch over the top. You see our boot's full, absolutely full of crap. I'm going to whack the boot seal back over it just to make sure no water ends up coming in the boot. Yeah, I'm pretty wrapped with today. So I think I might end it for today's episode at this point because we're going to let that paint dry off overnight. I'm not going to touch anything else. While we do that, I'm going to order some conversion hubs for it. I went to order the hubs yesterday and every place that had them were all sold out. Got to wait until they're available, which sucks because I'm going to try and do that in the same video, but I can't get them. Also going to order the complete bush kit for the front end so I can replace all the bushes. And also get some new discs, so brand new. I'll probably get slotted discs for VT, VZ. And yeah, so the whole front end's gonna be brand new, and then we can whack the master, the booster in, and hopefully get a really good braking system. For the rear as well, I've got no brake lines on the rear, because they both actually snapped on either side when I was taking the whole axle out, before I put this build on YouTube. This was years ago. So I'm gonna buy the brake line kit that goes at the back, changes it all to braided, so it makes it a bit nicer. But yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with the progress this weekend on the VL. 3 days of work, so not too bad. Give us a like if you can, and if you're enjoying this this build, be sure to subscribe. It helps a lot, and it's a fun thing I do in my spare time, so appreciate you watching. So yeah, we'll end it here for this video, and I really hope you enjoyed the VL, and I'm glad to see her back, and I'm sorry it's been so long since the last episode because I've been doing that car and the RX-7 and shit just got in the way, so now it's all happening now. So yeah, once I get everything ordered, part 3 shouldn't be too far away, and we can put it back on its feet, bleed the brakes, do all that, and then it'll be all the engine conversion stuff. So I know you're excited for that just as much as I am. So be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. You get all the inside scoop of what I'm doing in my spare time when I'm not uploading, and definitely subscribe if you enjoyed it. So everybody, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.